Poesia, poetry, Greek meaning, poesia. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonance, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, I dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Poetry, feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. What many refer to poetry, but was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. Latin realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honors to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair, pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene. No fica así, no. No fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. But for me, it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection. Embrace my affection. In poética dieri, soy doctora poesía, soy la doctora poesial. Oh, ¿a qué aconteció como lengua latina? Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto, que un mergulano inició de latín. ¿El dónde veo? ¿De dónde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos. So they added TIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesia sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, minha filha. Fica com calma, neném. Tá bom? Não fica assim, não. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. Frequency. Ninguém me está avergonhando você por falar diferente. A linguagem que nos conecta a todos. Yo amo poesía con toda mi alma. Poesía. Feel free to hate on me. I'm Dr. Poetry, and I love poetry.
I know we've got so much to say, but so little time to stop. A haiku, sonnet, or epigram sure would mean a lot. So pull up to the show today. All those nights you had to write, cause the work they brought you hell. It don't always have to be complaints and gripes. We wanna hear you doing well. Then why don't you come join the show and share just what you wrote, where Dr. Poetry knows your name. And you'll be so glad you came. It's Hear Me Out Poetry. You don't have to be ashamed. You wanna read when Dr. Poetry knows your name.
Shout out to Project Pook. Shout out to Project Pook for that wonderful edition. Have you? I surprised you, right? I told you I was
You
gonna
did. You did. I was like, oh, I haven't heard this one in a minute.
I know, right? I was like digging in the grave. No, a big shout out to Project Pook and everyone out there. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Shout out to all of y'all beautiful people out there. Thank you.
Hello. Everybody.
Right, Cosmic. Listen, these kids took the day off today. Listen,
Yes.
we're not getting interfere when we hanging with our sisters. Okay, I got all my sisters in me. Did I tell you I have 8 sisters? There's 8 Dr. Poetries around there.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm the youngest. There's 8 of them.
For some reason, okay.
Okay,
Well,
well,
I thought. Never mind.
from mom, there's 5 of us, right? There's
Oh, that's right.
4 females from mom, but my mother has 8 daughters.
Wow. Wow.
So every time I come across certain things, I'm like, I got a sister just like you. I really do. It's just life. But today is one of those days, Cosmic. We have a beautiful guest today. I'm not going to give all the goodies right now because, we dive into minding my heart. Like I said, Cheesecake, we love you. Enjoy that time.
Yes.
There's going to be a time where I'm not going to be able to make it either. And I know the girls are going to hold it down for me. So shout out to Miss Cheesecake. We miss you, honey.
Shout out to our sis, Miss Cheesecake.
It is so hot in Puerto Rico. I've been running around with my hair wet all day. It is hot. Summer is here.
Summer, oh yeah, especially down there. I can only imagine.
Listen, it's hot, Cosmic. Is it hot on your side of the?
Not yet. We've had on and off weather. Like yesterday was beautiful and sunny. Today's a little overcast. It's going to get sunny, but it's still chilly. It's still
chilly. Really?
Yeah.
We have the tropical breeze. We do, but it's that type of heat. And I have the whole house is full of, it has AC. But if I want to go out to where the plants are at, and I water the plants, it's like the sunroom area. It's a little steamy in there. I'm quick to be like, I need a hot shower.
More like a cold shower, right?
A cold shower. I know. Well, yeah, you're right. Cold shower. All right. But listen, y'all, listen. We definitely going to dive into a lot of things. Cosmic, before we go anywhere, you want to say something before I go into the minding my heart? Any things you're working on really quick? Because, today's going to be a full show. We're going to get into it. Let me just say, if you're home right now, it's Saturday night. First of all, don't forget to subscribe,
Right.
like, share it, like
all
that stuff. Subscribe to each other's show. Everybody put your links in there. Everybody start sharing. This is about networking. What are we talking about? Right?
100%.
Yeah, let's network. Throw it in there. I don't get upset if you throw your links in there. That's the whole point of everything. We have to reclaim the reins of our own mind. Shout out to Doc Bay. We say that all the time. How are we going to do that? By sharing each other's content, right? Support is free. How many shows we going to have about that? Anyway, let me stop. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So since we have a very extensive show, and I kind of say this because I know as a producer, when things are going to get a little teary. And disclaimer, the guest that I have has written a piece. Wow. Beautiful. And I'm saying this because when I heard it, I was crying. And I'm not a big crier. Anybody who knows me, I don't cry. I'm an Aquarius. I don't cry. But I was crying. I was crying, and I actually said it too. I said it to her husband. I said it to her. I was like, this is crazy. Crazy good, meaning you guys are going to be able to identify with this. Because even if you didn't go through this experience, someone went through this experience. And it's the type of conversation that we rarely have. And when we do, it seems to be when it's uproar, when there's a problem, like something explodes. And I'm saying this, disclaimer, get your tissue. Put on your serious face for a little bit because the poetry is in here. The art is in here. And as you know, I also have that segment where we throw some videos in here. And one of those videos are definitely about the conversation, which is about childless mothers, childless women.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. And Mother's Day is around the corner. So I wanted to ask Cosmic if she had any events before we dive into all this stuff, anything you got looking, because I know you're writing your book. You're almost finishing.
Yeah, the book is my book is the manuscript is finished. It's just I'm going through and editing because I ended up adding some things and then I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have my glossary because I want to put a glossary at the back. So I had to go through and literally last weekend? I had to spend a lot of hours creating the glossary. So that's going to be coming out eventually. I have my oracle cards that are completed. I'm working on the guidebook. I've started my tarot deck because that was my goal, is to have an oracle deck and a tarot deck.
Good for you.
So I'm doing that. So those are my biggies right now. And I'm still working on, because I keep shifting around in regards to my album, what I want to be on the album. I'm taking my time with it because I'm like, I don't want to rush anything. It has to be precise, right? Precision it's all about precision.
You're ready.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, and I'm going to read a piece later, the piece that I submitted, my poem was accepted into a book called the Oregon Poetry Anthology. And it's going to be released in June. And so my piece is in there. And so that's just an honor. I'm still like,
say that again. Where was it entered? Say that for those that didn't hear you in the back. Where
so
did it?
It's through, I'm spacing out the name of the company. My father sent me the information and I submitted my poem. Right. And I wasn't sure. I was trying to have I was like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I just sent this one in particular. And I'm like, I'm not sure if it's going to get accepted. It's a reflection. It's spiritual piece, and it's, of my path, a reflection of my path. And they embraced it, and they sent me a message. We honor what you sent us. It's going to be in the book, and the book is called Oregon Poetry Anthology. And so when it gets close to that time, because I think it's the beginning of June, I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's the beginning of June. So yeah, and then I'm going to.
This is in order. This is in order. Another one. Hey.
Yeah, that's exciting. Exciting
honestly,
stuff.
It is exciting. I was having a conversation with, who was I having a conversation with? DJ Chili Chill. Shout out to DJ Chili Chill. Yes. We were talking about, how we always want folks to promote our stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And it's always good to have DJs and everyone else to promote your stuff. And then the topic came up. I was having this thing. It's like, it feels awkward for me to promote my own stuff. Right. Like, I love promoting other people. I love doing that. It's natural for me to be like, what do you got going on? I'm like, I love doing that. Mm-hmm. But I have stuff going on and I hate to hear myself have my things. And it's like, okay, so it doesn't look cool for you to promote your own, but if I don't, who will?
That part. That's
who will? What I would go to the grave with all my stuff, like, pending there. Like, when is it gonna? Who promotes my stuff? Like, right. So I will promote my stuff.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's beautiful to do so.
You have to, because what am I gonna do? I'm gonna beg somebody to listen to me. I promoted this several times. I have a book series, 680 Tinton Apartment 15A. It's about my memoirs. It's a 3-book series. It's out on Amazon under Isabella Bay. That is my pen name. That rhymes. Under Isabella Bay, that is my pen name. I'm Dr. Poetry.
Bars.
I'm just being silly. I'm just being silly. So listen, what I'm saying is 680 Tinton Avenue, Apartment 15A. The first chapter is called When I Was Nuyorican. Mm-hmm. The second chapter is called Sue Aside. It's a play on words. It's a Sue being pushed aside, but it's also about suicide. Yeah. And the third one that I just finished publishing,
yay!
Right on top of it, it's called Red Top, Green Top, Blue Top, 1, 2, 3. And it talks about drugs. Yes. 680 Avenue was the place where I was born and raised. There's a project housing called John Item Houses. And sometimes I listen to a lot of things that I see on stereo, and I'm like, if you only knew what I've seen. If you only seen what I've seen. Those books are out there. They help to understand a time and a place back in the 80s in the Bronx where not only drugs was out there and AIDS, but hip hop too. And hip hop was definitely a place of comfort for me. It was my blanket. So I kind of talk about these things in both 3 books. And that's the series right there. 3-chapter series. So make sure you guys get that. And I got my swimsuits on Badge of Pearls, y'all.
Woo-wee.
I have Badge of Pearls. The swimsuits are ready and the dresses are ready, the sundresses and all that jazz. So make sure y'all look into the Badge of Pearls in a few, maybe half an hour today. Within an hour, I will definitely throw in a promo for that.
Yes.
But yeah, let's get ready to rumble. Let's go. What do I have Redman in my mind right now?
And can I just say real quick, Izzy?
Yes.
I look forward to when you do. I know you were planning on doing the audio to read your stories because I love listening to you read. I've read my, on my own, but to hear you read, everybody, if you haven't heard her read, she comes through on the other app, and she'll read her
on
work.
stereo. Yeah, go find me on stereo. I sometimes read there, maybe one person in the room, but I don't care. I'm in there, like, and then I heard the Nino Brown operation going through. And everybody's like, what is she talking about, Dr. Poetry and her poetry? She's crazy. But it's cemented there, and it's there. Like I told AMAC, shout out to AMAC, I'm not ready for the audio yet, because I noticed while I was reading, a lot of stuff was coming back.
Yeah.
Because when you write a book, this is why a big shout out to our guest today. When you write a song, there's a lot of feeling, and when you hear it, when you hear the art, whether it's a book that you're reading, a movie you're watching, or a song that you're listening to, a poem, you could feel the energy that they put in, that no one speaks about, because that type of energy, you have to like relax after you finish. I'm not being dramatic, y'all. This is real. Like I have to sit back when I wrote my books. I had to sit, because you know the stuff I wrote in those books, especially suicide. I talk about a lot of things in there that were very rough, but I also disappeared for like a week or two, just relaxing, bringing it down, and keeping it light. Because we open doors sometimes that you have closed a long time ago.
Right.
Start touching in those emotions, and they come through really, really strong. And with that being said, I'm going to definitely go right into COSMIK. We're definitely going to go into minding my heart so that we can get this show started. But I appreciate your feedback, COSMIK, on that. I really do. I'm looking forward to doing a lot with that. All right. Where are we with okay, yeah. Minding my heart. We'll be right back, yeah.
Energy is the new currency. It's what I'm being told. So I'm just gonna let my energy flow. And I hope you get it. Where power reigns supreme. Energy's the currency that fuels our dreams. No more dollars, no more cents, just wants and votes. That's how we gon' pay the rent. Oh baby, it's energy. No more gold and silver, it's the brand new currency called energy. Energy's the key. Some say it's the fortune and fame, but all I keep seeing is the currency. I keep hearing energy. Energy, energy, charging up lives, setting up some free lights within us, playing chess in 3D. From the morning's light to the midnight hour, our energy is the source that gives us that righteous power. From the morning's light
to the midnight hour. All right, y'all. Welcome to Minding My Heart. Today, we enter a conversation that many avoid, misunderstand, or mishandle. A conversation about childless women, not as a label, not as a deficit, but as a lived reality, biology, circumstance, choice, and survival. And I speak from experience. After becoming sick, after 15 abdominal surgeries, after fighting for my life, more times than I can count. I lost my womb while I was still married and still trying to imagine a future that included children of my own. And I sat in therapy sessions learning how to accept the truth I never asked for. And yet, hear me clearly, I never lost my womanhood. I never lost my value. My worth was never located in an organ. So the question becomes, why do both women and men attach so much value to the womb? Well, that is valuable. I will say the womb is valuable. But why do we act as if the ability to carry a child is the measure of a woman's love, her purpose, her femininity, her contribution to the world? Not everyone can have children. And even those who can eventually reach menopause. So, a natural biological transition. And does that mean a woman loses her value when her ovaries retire? You gotta think about that. Of course not. So why do we pretend otherwise? And what about the men who cannot have children? Men we rarely hear from. Men who are allowed silence, privacy, and dignity around their infertility. Do they lose their value? Or is this the burden of reproductive worth placed disappropriate? I would say this, I can't even say the word right now. Disproportionately, I would say. Because today we're going to talk about the challenges and the victories of surviving the loss of a womb. Because some of us had to choose between life or a womb. And choosing life should never, ever require an apology. God made me just right. And I sit here to offer comfort to anyone who has struggled with not having children, to anyone who has been treated unfairly or spoken to with cruelty because of it. There is a dangerous connotation that childless women are incapable of loving another human being simply because they never gave birth to one. But what about the women who know what it feels like to be a child, who survived childhoods that taught them tenderness, resilience, and empathy in ways no pregnancy ever could? Mother's Day is next week, so I ask you today and every day to be mindful when you speak on another woman's womb. Some wounds surrounding our wombs are delicate, layered, and still healing. And if you're not healed, be cautious about who you share your story with. Not everyone who listens is a friend. I'm trying to tell you something. Not everyone who smiles safe. They're not safe. So that's why, as I publish my books as a publishing author, I know that I have to speak on things that I know I'm healed. So we got to do better. We must uplift each other, not compete in pain or hierarchy. And men, protect us, guide other men to be present, compassionate, and aware when a woman speaks about losing her womb. Because if we truly, truly want to change it, it requires all of us to change. I'm Dr. Poetry. Welcome to Hear Me Out Poetry. This is Minding My Heart. And I really wanted to share that with everyone, to let everyone know that we hear you, we feel you, we understand. Sometimes we want to share our thoughts with others that don't have the capacity to fully understand or comprehend what you're going through, and that's okay too. So be very, very careful, be mindful of how we share. Love y'all. See y'all in a minute.
Energy's the new currency. It's what I'm being told. So I'm just gonna let my energy flow. And I hope you get it. Where power reigns supreme, energy's the currency that fuels our dreams. No more dollars, no more cents, just wants and votes. That's how we gon' pay the rent. Oh baby, it's energy. No more gold and silver, it's the brand new currency called energy. Energy's the key. Some say it's the fortune and fame, but all I keep seeing is the currency. I keep hearing energy. Energy, energy, charging up lives, setting up some free lights within us, playing chess in 3D. From the morning's light to the midnight hour, our energy is the source that gives us that righteous power. From the morning's light.
Hey. I feel like I was pulling somebody's ear, but I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to get my message across. I caught myself being passionate. I'm like, okay, you're not at work. You're not at work. You're not in the precinct. Take it easy. You're not talking to your nieces. But I got a little passionate. That's
rightfully so. Rightfully so.
We don't need to have these conversations. It's like, why would we have this conversation? But yeah. All right. Definitely let's get back to this. So what is the topic? Childless women. What do you think about that, Cosmic? Give me your insight before we bring up our guests.
Yeah, very deep. You know, it's a type of grief that often goes unseen, and you kind of mentioned that, because it does not come with a visible ending, so to speak, right? It is a grief in your regards, and I can't wait to hear from our lovely, wonderful guest that's coming up, because yeah, it's just it is the grief of what never came to be for those who are unable to have children or who made the choice not to have a child. And this is not simply an absence, it is the presence of something deeply felt. And so it's a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game. And
it is. And it's just I think that we forget compassion. And I don't want to sound like I am not Mother Teresa at all. I've been what we call, I've been low vibrational. There have been moments where I'm like, oh, Ver, you cut me like that, I'm gonna cut you with these words. I get all that. I get it, because trust me, I get it. I get it. And then, but you feel it later on. You're like, I should have never said that. I went crazy. But today's topic is childless women. And with that being said, the reason why, Cosmic, I happen to know Celeste from stereo, from her husband on stereo. Her name is Celeste. Beautiful soul. I'm getting acquainted. I'm on. She's really very quiet on stereo. You hardly, she just supports her husband. You hardly hear. But when her husband played a track that she wrote, you know how I am about stuff like that. Most people drink alcohol, y'all. I get drunk on lyrics and poetry. I was like, oh, to the point where, I cried, because I have not heard anyone write something, and I'm not being facetious, other than myself with Unborn. When I wrote Unborn, and I had to edit because of my own situation, I really felt what she wrote. I mean it. Everything she was saying there. And it's also, you can relate that to losing family too, because it was a whole combination of things. And I've never said this to Celeste, and I'm going to say this now before we bring her up. The reason why it touched me so much, and I cried so much, I'm put these shits on right now before I start crying. What touched me was that my mother's not well. My mother's is not well. She's in and out. She's scaring the shit out of me. To be honest with you, I think she's playing around with us, right? Stop playing with us, Mom. Die, because she got me going back and forth, going like, 1 minute she's like gone, and 1 minute she's here, and that's the worst feeling to feel. You get 2:00 morning calls, and I'm thinking my mom is gone. Having my mom in where she's at right now, love you, mommy, where she's practically here, but she's not, is making me reflect on not having children. Because while she is alive, but while my father was alive, he's no longer alive. It really hits you, because you're like, okay, so now my mom is gone. If my mom dies, then I only have me, because I don't have children. So that's opening. It's like a little opening of the. So when I heard her speak on what she was saying, she didn't know anything about my situation. Everybody's just writing. And that's how I feel like God her to talk to me. It was crazy. I mean this, Celeste. I mean it. It just made me feel like I was in there. I don't talk about my personal stuff. I was in there telling her husband, Big Boy, I was like, yo, this is real. Like, I know. And then I didn't even know the other drama that was going on stereo. Like, I didn't even know all this. I did not know. I'm telling you, I didn't know. And so what she speaks on that made me, it just hit home. So with that being said, I just want to introduce Celeste in a way that she deserves, because like I said, that artistry that she has, I'm not even going to speak to, hold on one second. I'm not even going to speak to, because she has something else that she wrote. And both of them write, by the way. They have they're called, oh my God, I'm like, because I'm so in different places right now. Their brand is called That Message Though. It's The Message Though. It just, the way I heard it, because if you look at it, if you listen to what she's saying, hold on a second. It's one of those things, Cosmic, that I'm not gonna say too much, because when we talk about people who cannot have children,
Yeah.
and you find someone who has children who's writing about not having children, you got to have a particular empathy for it. Not everybody could. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not acting. And I want to say that I just want to bring her up. I'm talking too much. I'm gonna bring up Celeste. Celeste, you bring up, because I'm lost for words just introducing you. This is crazy. Welcome, you're muted. Welcome, Celeste. No, because I'm just babbling, because I got caught up with the emotions, and I'm saying this because I didn't share that with you. Where it took me, your song, when you wrote that piece, it took me to a place where, like, oh my God, I was suffocating. Like, I was just like, whoa, because I have been dealing with certain topics. Everything you were talking about there, I was dealing with it. Not that I'm revisiting an unhealed version of me. It's a new version. Mom is not well. She may be going. So now we're revisiting what happens when your parents are gone and your sisters have children. Like, I wasn't ready for that. I'm like, whoa, I'm the youngest. I'm like, whoa. And I'm not a big on pity party, but the way you explained it, whether you knew this or not, I was like, copy. I got it. Like, received. I actually even said that, received. Like, I think I said that to you, received. I received it because it was so needed. And that's why I love what you're doing, you and your husband. Celeste, I'm going to give you the floor so you can share, more or less, because I could say these things. When you listen to their music, when you listen to what they're writing as artists, they're writing beautifully. Their artistry blends. It's like soulful storytelling.
Perfect.
Yeah. Powerful messages. And they're reminding us, right, the listeners, that music can heal. It can uplift and spark conversation. So as we diving into this childless woman topic, I say it's inspired by Celeste herself. It was inspired by her deeply moving original song, Childless Mother. And I want to do this, Celeste. That way we can calm this stuff, because I'm up here. You guys don't know it. I'm gonna keep it a buck, but I'm up here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this because I can't. I want us to hear it.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk about it. How about? What do you think? Is that good?
Good.
Because I gotta dive right into it. It's one of those. Yeah, I gotta dive.
Okay.
Honestly,
I'll just keep mute until you do that.
Yes, honestly.
Thank you all, though, for having me, Dr. Poetry and Cosmic Oracle. I appreciate
it.
And after you play it, then I'll speak after you play it.
Perfect. That'll be perfect, because I want everybody to understand why I'm talking so much about this. Okay, you're gonna get it right now. Okay, let's listen.
Growing up, I dreamed how my life would be, having a boy for my husband and a girl for me. When you watch people kiss, they ask, girl, when you having some? If it was spoken word, that question wouldn't make me numb. If it was in my control, I'd have an army, because I've always had the desire to be a good mommy. I see people who hurt children, and it's something I don't understand. To take the life from a child you wish you could command. Some mothers treat children like they are just objects. What you call good parenting is in the wrong context. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. This for all the ladies out here that feel you hold no worth because you haven't had a baby. And giving birth, this is for the childless mothers who wish they had kids. Oh, why, Lord, is it something I did? Please tell me why. Some you choose not to count your blessings, while there are women who can't, suffering from depression. We carry every title except the one we really desire. We put our faith in God, but sometimes it'll make you think he's a liar, guessing you weren't good enough or your womb was cursed. Yet see, wicked people enjoy childbirth. You wait and pray, then never experience that day you can announce your baby's name and how much they weigh. I'm grateful to help sow into other people's kids, but it doesn't change the fact of feeling underbid. This for all the ladies out here that feel you hold no worth because you haven't had a baby and given birth. This is for the childless mothers who wish they had kids. Oh why, Lord, is it something I did? Please tell me why. What could I have did? I just wanted to be a mother and raise my own kids.
Oh my Lord, Celeste, Celeste, Celeste. My goodness, my goodness. I was in here like, whoa, I couldn't find my hand fan. I was because now y'all know what I was talking about. Now y'all, I don't want to throw them hearts out. Throw all them hearts. I see y'all throw all the hearts. Oh, okay, I mean it. Jesus. Woo. When I say, and it's not so much the voice, it's what you wrote, because the voice is beautiful, but it's what you wrote. It's the message behind everything. And when you said, oh man, I was going to write it, but I didn't want to, I was in the moment. I didn't want to, I did for the first time, Cosmic, I didn't write. You know how you sit there?
I don't mean either.
Let me write something because this is, and I totally, something you say there that, the way the parents nowadays, not nowadays, there's always been a parent that's not parenting the way they should. They're killing their children, they're beating them up. And when I say why I resonate with this so much is that I'm a state police officer. I see it. I don't watch it on TV. I live it.
Right.
And I'm in there like, no, Sergeant, I'm not going to be part of that unit. I don't want to be in those, there's units for this, I know me. I don't think I'm going to respond well. Like domestic violence and child abuse, I used to do this for a living. So think about what you wrote, covered it all. So I'm going to give you the floor and tell us what inspired you and why does Celeste, first of all, shout out to Celeste again, more of this. I want more. I want more claps. Man, for sure. Talk to us. Tell us how did this come about?
Well, actually, childless mother, I had started writing this song in 2019, and I didn't actually finish it until last year. But when I was writing it, I guess my thought process was the burden that many women carry that have the desire to have children. They don't have them not by choice, but by circumstance. So that's kind of where my mindset was when I wrote it. And then I have a real good friend of mine. First her husband committed suicide. He killed himself. And she had to have a hysterectomy. And she was just, I don't know, she's been dealing with depression and, just a whole lot of emotions, grief. She wanted children. She was told she couldn't have children. And she was saying that it always seems like a lot of people that have children are the ones that are not grateful to have, what other women are desiring. And just really based on that is kind of where I built my premise for Childless Mother. I don't know. And then I wanted it, my thing, I always pray. I said, when I write, I always want to be able to touch somebody. It's the message, though. I want it to be a message that someone can resonate with, a message that someone can grow from, a message that someone may help with their healing process, or, anything to be positive. Because you hear a lot of music with, with a negative message, but my husband and I, let me just kind of, I'm fast forwarding a little bit. So Celeste is an AI artist. My husband and I, we have two AI artists, Shy, which is a male artist, and Celeste, which is a female artist. And my husband, years ago, my husband had a record label here in Louisiana. So my husband is very well known when it comes to music. And so when we kind of had gotten information and was learning and doing our research on the AI aspect, he kind of side-eyed me, like, for somebody that actually has been in the industry and had artists. And then he was like, well, at this point, I really can't deny it, because this is, going to become a part of, the world moving. Like, how you just keep adding and adding and adding. So we kind of got engaged with it, and he had always, been writing. And sometimes I have to write. I guess I write based on my emotions, or sometimes I use it as a way of venting instead of talking. I'll write, and that's kind of where my writing normally is aspired from. From me just venting on paper, but just doing it, hoping that it could help, or be something positive to someone else. So normally I'm very, no, don't play it, don't play. That's just me. And my husband always say, "They is good. You need to let people hear it. Do you know how many women could relate to this song?" Yes. And I said, yeah, I said, but I didn't do it for that. I said, I did it I guess to put it on a platform, if they hear it, they hear it. But that's how he ended up playing it on stereo. He told me, he said, well, let me go ahead and play it. And he had played it before, and somebody else came back and had told them, he said, your wife did a song that you played maybe a few weeks ago, and my wife loved it. He said, the guy was asking for the name of it. And I was like, I don't know, because he had played, like 2 or 3 songs. And it was that song as well, Childless Mother. So I don't know. I'm grateful that it's landing and falling on the ears of those who need to hear it. That was my prayer and my hope, that it falls on the ears of those that need to hear it. The women that need to hear it and need to be encouraged by it, and still feel, don't let it take your purpose away from you. Even though, maybe due to circumstance or choice, you didn't conceive and give birth, you still can give birth to something in life, whatever that purpose may be. I think all of us give birth, maybe not through birthing another human, but you're birthing something in yourself that you could give to others. I went to school, I've been a teacher, I've been an educator. So I always had my babies, I always call them my babies. I have one son, but I have, numerous, if I go out and they'll just come run up to you and, oh, you taught me, so that's giving birth. That's birthing something, because you're planting those seeds and they're still growing. And even for them to remember you, if you plant something in them and they come back years later, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end. Where our old house is, we had a neighbor, the lady, she was a single mom and she had 6 children. And one of the little girls would always come. She had gotten very attached to me. So I would always, we had some other businesses. So when I go work our other businesses, I would always bring her with me for the summer. You know, we spent time with them. If we went out of town, we would get permission, you know, to take them with us. She also had a brother. So the brother and my son were friends. And then I would also bring her. And after the summer, after a few summers, I kind of had backed up because sometime I'll go home in the summer because at that time, you know, my parents were still living and I wouldn't be around as much. So one day when I came home from work, from teaching, she had left this envelope on my windshield. And I asked my husband, I said, I wonder who put this here. And it was a little girl. And she told me that she felt like I had abandoned her and that how much she loved me, you know, because I would just do simple stuff. We'd go to the mall or if I went shopping, I'd take, you know, just being, to me, I was just doing the way I was raised, the way I was dealt with. So to me, there wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And she was so grateful. But at any rate, maybe about 5 years ago, she called me and she told me that she had a little girl. And she said, I just wanted to tell you, I gave my daughter your middle name because you were always such a positive influence. Well, she told me you and your husband were always such a positive influence in my life and in my siblings' life. She said, I never wanted to forget about you. So her little girl, she has a son and a daughter, and she gave her daughter my middle name.
Oh,
yeah.
Celeste, that's family. And I love what you mentioned because it's really about nurturing.
Exactly.
Nurturing that you're giving. They don't necessarily have to be your children.
No.
You know, and I really resonate with that. I resonate with that. That, first of all, big honors to you and your husband, Big Boy, by the way, Shy. We appreciate him very much. I think a dynamic powerhouse couple. Always. And the fact that you pray before you write, man. If that's not serving God, I don't know what else to say. Because
I do. Anything I do, really, I pray before I do. Even when I used to go in the classroom for all those years, I always pray to be able to plant seeds because I always say I don't have to sit under every tree that I plant. But if I leave that seed, that seed can produce a harvest that can take them through life. And it doesn't have to be about Celeste. It's not even about me. It's about planting that seed and then somebody else can add to it and then it grows that harvest and that reaping comes. You know, I believe in planting, so reaping and sowing. You know, you and you reap.
Absolutely.
So that's just, you know, my thing. And that's just me. I'm not a real talkative person. Honestly, I'm not like a talker. Not like my husband. My husband loves, I mean, that's him. Big Boy, anywhere, I don't care where he goes, somebody's gonna come running. Big Boy, that's Big Boy. And it's so funny because I'll go out sometimes and nobody won't even know me. Like I'll pass right by people that I know, and they won't even know me. But if he's with me, then they'll know me. So that's just his personality. And he really loves people. My husband has a forgiving heart. That's just him. And you know, I'm like that too. I'm a good person, but I'm a wise person. I have discernment. So you can't really play with me and I don't see what you're doing. If you play with me, I'm gonna let you do it for so long and I'm gonna, you know, see what it is. But I don't know. We just love people. That's our thing. I love children. I come from a family of educators. My grandmother, she started a learning center in Seattle, Washington years ago, probably 70 some years ago. Wow. And in our family, we have 4 of them, 4 learning centers. And that's just been our thing. Planting seeds. We're a pillar of the community. Even though I'm here in Louisiana, I even work, you know, I work for our legacy. My grandparents started it. Then my grandparents had 6 daughters, one which was my mother. They kept the torch going. And then now it's passing on down now to the grandchildren, to the 3rd generation. So that's my thing. I love planting seeds and I'll do that for anybody. If I can't help you, I'm not going to harm you.
Right.
That planting a seed. And I always tell my husband that I said, you don't have to sit under every tree that you plant.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? You don't always, sometimes you won't see the fruits from what you do and what you give people. But if you know that it was something that kept them going and was able to empower them, then you've done your job. You know,
That's
you've
right.
done above and beyond. So
That's
again,
right.
I thank you all for the opportunity. And that's really where like how my writing is inspired. It's really based on after I pray. Sometimes things will just come to me, or if it's something that I've dealt with personally, I'll just say this piece because there's another song, and then that way you could just play it if you want, Dr. Poetry. But
Sure.
it was me, my mom, my dad, and I had a sister, an older sister. Um, and all of my immediate family is deceased. So my sister passed in '05, and
Oh,
I had a year left she had a year left at Southern University when I came. So when I did my freshman year at Southern, she was my roommate. So me and my sister, we were always like two peas in a pod, but it was always like I was the older sister because I guess I thought I was running her, but she was always, there with me. So I lost my sister in '05. In '08, I lost my mom. And then in 20, I lost my dad. And it was me and my dad for all those years. And after I lost my dad, I can see where it affected me because I don't know, it started affecting me in my body. And it's like I had, you know how you hold trauma or you don't?
I call that fibromyalgia. That's what I have.
Izzy and I both.
Right. When it hits you, because I never had any type of like health problems, sick or nothing, but it's like I started feeling the weight of what I had really, what I'm living through. It's like, and I was like, dog, I gotta shake, I gotta have the strength to shake this. I have to shake this. And I was actually working on my master's in 19, but my dad had gotten sick. So I went to Washington and then came back. I just stopped school because, I just mentally, I wasn't in it anymore. I just couldn't focus. So after my dad had passed and I kind of settled and got clear, I said, you know what? I said, my parents always taught me to finish whatever you start. If you start it, complete it. And whatever you do, do your best. And as long as you've done your best, then you've done enough. Just always make sure that, and then another thing, always have a word. So I went on and I went back and I completed my master's in education. And I don't know, I'm not in the classroom anymore. And actually I said, I'm just going to go back and maybe teach at the college level instead of, the smaller children. But, I thank God for my parents. I thank God for the foundation they gave us, and I had a good childhood, just good parents, very protected. So a lot of times, my husband and I, when we write, we can write from different aspects because I don't know what it's like not to have a dad. My dad, I turned 50 in February. And when I talk to my dad, when I used to talk to him, he was still daddy. I'd be like, hi, daddy. And he's like, hey, son, it was just, I don't know what that feels like to wonder where my dad is at. It's just, I don't know. It's a lot.
But I know they're proud of you, Celeste. I gotta say it because I know you say it's not about Celeste, it's about the work that God has sent you to do. And I don't know how this turned into a whole gospel right now.
Right, I'm sorry.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I see it. I genuinely have to say that, first of all, you're on a panel with this panel. We serve, we're public servants. You're a teacher. I'm a state police officer. She's a nurse. COSMIK is a nurse.
Oh, wow.
So
all servants.
We have, we have positions where we have to kind of say a prayer before we leave our home. I know I pray all the time, make sure that I don't have to use my weapon. Exactly. I pray that whoever I have to arrest, they get a message. I don't say this out loud. I just don't do that. I keep that to myself. When I wake up, I know exactly, like, put the words in my mouth to say correctly when those moments are happening, right? Because the field I'm in is to see kind of the worst in people right away for my life and for the life of others. Yet that's a prayer every day. The minute I get up and I'm brushed, it's already like, well, today's another day. I want to come back and see my dog. Again, like I don't have children. So my purpose is to make sure I get home safely and that I don't have to ever do harm to anyone to de-escalate whatever situation. I know COSMIK is like, may my hands heal the right, and we have this, right? It shows up in our writing because we're writing, what we're speaking of is writing with purpose.
Exactly.
Right? We're not just, first of all, I don't do this for a living. Like I'm doing this, the Hear Me Out poetry is really that. We all say, we have the same, right? COSMIK. Poetry is our therapy. Poetry is used as an outlet, is to cope. That's why we have the poetic clinic, which we would have been doing it today, but Miss Cheesecake is out with her sister, which, hey, I hear that. So we usually have a segment called Poetic Clinic, although that's something that we do regardless. We don't need the poetic clinic to have that conversation. A lot of our poetry is about healing. It's about, coming into processing certain things that we cannot understand yet. Like we're still having trouble with it. I sometimes write about certain things that I have questions in a lot of my poetry. Like, why is this happening? Right. And so when I hear you say that you were feeling very heavy at one point, your heart felt heavy when your dad passed. By the way, my dad passed in 2020 as well. He passed in 2020. I didn't have a chance to even mourn because the pandemic came right away. It was like pandemic, boom, 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 boom. I left New York Puerto Rico for a minute because Hurricane Maria had devastated Puerto Rico. So then I had to go to New York. And while I was in New York, I was dealing with my dad and his health was failing and so was my mom's. So there was a lot going on. And then January, he passed, January 8th of 2020. And then before that, next thing you know, we had in New York City, the pandemic blew up really bad. So you don't have a chance to cope. So what I did have were my notebooks. I've been doing this since I was a child in COSMIK, right? I can share that. She's done the same thing. We found our tribe, our poetic tribe, because we do the same. No one here wants to have listen, if I make money with my streams, yay. But my career, my path is criminal justice. I've been a criminologist I got my master's similar to when you had I got mine in 2016. I got my master's in 2016 and in criminology. And all the stuff that we do, we want to do this with purpose. No one wants accolades or flowers.
Exactly.
It comes out for credibility purposes, when it comes, because it's like, who is Dr. Poetry? Who is Celeste? Who is Cosmic Oracle? First we were like these avatars on stereo, right? With these little avatars, and I'm the poetry lady, right? Poetry, and Puerto Rico. I talk about the Latin culture a lot. I do spend a lot of time on bringing awareness, cultural awareness, because I realized living in New York City, I thought that the world knew what Puerto Rico was, right? Then I studied out Missouri Southern State University. Shout out to MSSU. And I didn't even realize how they didn't even know what a Puerto Rican was. So I was in there like, what? So, because I'm thinking New York City, it's a city where it's a melting pot. I'm kind of like a little bit, and I don't have a problem traveling, picking up on a plane. Doc Bay, shout out to him, going to the South, going to the Midwest. I go everywhere. So there was a time where I thought everybody was the same. And then you come across, you're like, oh, but why are you saying that? And then you realize, this is my learning period. I got to learn now. I have to sit back. Not everybody's going to understand you. So you have two things to do. Advocate, bring awareness, bring poetry, say it through your poetry. You don't have to be all the beefing and arguing. You could just chill out and meet different people from different walks of life. And I love that. That's why I love stereo for that same thing.
Right.
It could be tricky because not everybody's on the same. So you use the word discernment.
Exactly.
And I have discernment. I think we all have discernment here. When we got into a room, I'm like, nope, I'm not going into that room.
Exactly.
I could hear it like, oh, you heard what happened? Yeah.
I get it. Yes.
I don't want to be part of it. So it's where your vibe is. It's where you're elevating, where you're growing, and you feel it in the pit of your stomach when you know you're doing the right thing. It's a good thing.
Exactly.
And you also feel it that's why they call it the gut feeling, when you got to not be in a certain place.
Exactly.
So I love the fact that you had your the neighbor, the girl that went to you. I think that's beautiful. I have I could relate to that as well because I have the rookies that are coming in now. I'm considered a senior police officer because I've been on the force for 20 years now. So a lot of the young ones that are coming in, right? The ones that they still smell like paper and pen, right? They're coming in, they have squeaky uniforms, and I just look at them and I'm building. It's like those are my children. And so it feels good, but at the end of the day, I also notice I don't know if this ever happened to you or anyone who has siblings who have children. We're living in times where, I don't know about you, but my family, they're not with that. They don't like anybody disciplining their children, which gets me on my nerves sometimes too. Like I can't really. I have one sister that she may tell her to not to do, and I'll go, hey, you hurt your mother. But there's one that's like, you can't tell them. So I always stand my ground as auntie. I don't get involved.
Respect the boundaries.
Yeah, I respect the boundaries because the first thing that we hear as childless women, you're not a mother.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to the topic of the day. Celeste, we're gonna go into video real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the this piece that I'm gonna present right now.
Okay.
It's like it pretty much talks about what happened to me when I couldn't have children. I wrote this back in the 90s, but I did update this, y'all, because at first it was like maybe 2 surgeries that I had, and then 3 because I got really sick. And then eventually I have 15. Yes, you heard it. Don't adjust the audio. 15 abdominal surgeries. I'm still here. God is celebrating. He wanted me here, and I'm here. And with that, I want you guys to really listen to what I'm saying in this. Many of you heard this before. This is called Unborn, and it's the official video for this piece. You can find this song on my first ever release, Badge of Pearls.
Unborn. Oh Lord, I'm torn from all the babies unborn. Catastrophes are not fair. It isn't right. I admit I was angry. I was scared. They asked if I still wanted children, and I said yes. And they persisted, letting me know that I was in danger. They said, "You sure you want children knowing your illness?" And I said, "No, I honestly do not know. But I want a boy. I don't care. I want a girl. I'll take a pair." And oh Lord, I'm torn from all those babies unborn. But scraping and cutting and eliminating my reproductive instruments of creation, feeling destroyed from the flesh right down to the last bone, all that blood and my tears couldn't run dry. I couldn't see past that wicked demise, and each life form was wiped away in front of my own eyes. Suddenly I realized each piece was an instrument of my life. Oh Lord, I'm torn from all my babies unborn. And I was in critical condition, and many rooms of ICU, fabricated decisions. And I tried to be brave and save you. They didn't bother asking me how I was gonna get through. Oh Lord, I'm torn from all my babies unborn. 15 surgeries with deadly memories. They took the womb right out of me and left me wombless, and the agony, radiation, and I said no to chemotherapy. Therapy was the only thing that kept me from believing that I was still a woman. I was still a woman without a womb. It took too much in me to stand tall and rise above all this sadness, because the devil didn't mind trying to confuse me. But I'm strong, and I know that there were too many victims and too many lies and not enough circumstances. And yeah, I felt confined, but in a bitter world so cruel, I still had love, and it would have been all for you, unborn. Would have been a younger version of older me, just thinking about this. I can't breathe. I healed physically, I healed emotionally, but I still dream of us. And it took therapy for me to accept that I am still a woman without a uterus. It was killing me as those feelings were questioning me. Where are your possibilities? The unpredictable mysteries of genetics insist. And as my love for bearing you, my unborn, grew deeper than dignity. And I'm not guilty. I was trying to survive and strive for my biological existence. Some failed to comprehend my persistence. Others are insensitive to my emotional resistance. Do you hear me, unborn? I'm torn from all my babies unborn.
Yeah, that was a pretty difficult one, y'all. I just want y'all to know that.
Oh, that was phenomenal. Oh my Lord, that message. Oh, and you are a blessing. You are still here. You are still here for a purpose. So that is, oh my God. I had listened to Unborn, but then with the
visuals
go along, the visuals with it, oh my Lord, it just takes it to the next level.
My sister can't see it. She tries to watch that. She can't watch it. My sister PFR, Jessie, she tells me I can't watch that. I can't watch that because she knows what she's like. I'm very close to my sisters, and she's like, that pain is painful. And so I feel like, man, I'm gonna say this. I'm trying not to choke up. For Mother's Day, what I noticed as a woman with no children, who didn't choose not to have, like. First of all, there's so many things I feel like are coming into me right now. Like I'm gonna say it. God wants me to say. We gotta be very careful what we say when we're kids. I'm gonna actually zoom in onto what I'm saying right now. We have to be very careful what we say. See, I grew up in a very dysfunctional home, right? And a lot of brothers, not brothers. I have one brother, but a lot of sisters, a lot of family, a lot of just a lot of chaos going on. And my books talk about that. My poetry speaks to it. It wasn't always peaches and cream. So I remember saying as a child, when I grow up, I'm never having kids. I used to say that. I'm never going to have children. I do not want children. When I was a child, little girl, hell, I was like, I don't want to play with dolls. And because I didn't want to I just didn't want to be around that whole thing because I didn't see what I was supposed to see. What children, the whole nuclear family, like it was so dysfunctional. But my did what she could with what she had, and my father as well. But I just knew I didn't want children at an early age. It was up until I got married. I got married in my 20s, where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have kids. It's time because you're changed now. I'm not that little girl anymore. And I have all these different problems. I was born with my womb was born small, and it was causing problems, and I didn't realize that. So then you go through the guilt. You go through the fact that, oh my God, what am I, a waste of? Because when you start hearing stories from your mother that she didn't plan on having you as a child, she had the operation to not have children. My mother, she chose not to have children after her 5th child because she had 6. One passed away. So she already had given birth 5 times. So she chose to have that operation where they tie your tubes and stuff. She did that. And then she started getting sick. She went to the doctor. They told her, you're having a baby. And that was me. So I was always told indirectly that, I wasn't supposed to be born. I wasn't planned. But it was explained after I started getting sick because I had a whole bunch of, I got really ill. I had tumors. I had all these different things going on with me that I started to get sick. And I was in my prime physically. When I say physically, I was strong. I was in, I had a 6-pack. I was in the gym. I was the strongest physically. But inside I had tumors. I had no idea. There was a lot going on. And so now they have to save me. within different surgeries, things that went into my intestines, like even obstruction of intestines. They had to cut the intestines, staple them together. I had adhesion. It was just a lot to keep me alive, right? And the deadliest, and I call it the deadliest, you know, when you go through an event, Celeste and Cosmic, when you go through something, when you realize that that's the period in your life where everything changed for you, like it just changed completely. Like it's the epiphany, the point of realization that life has changed completely for you. That year was 2011 for me. 2011. I was already a police officer. I was already, and that was when I almost died, right? Because they had to do back-to-back surgeries because something went wrong in the surgery. I was pretty much dying. I was in intensive care unit, and they were always trying to save my womb because they saw that I was young, I didn't have kids, and doctors were trying to save me. They were just saving me, my life, but also saving my instruments, like my organs. They're like, God, this woman hasn't given birth. You know, we don't want to just remove. They were very. Nowadays, I feel like they just go ahead and do hysterectomy when they find out that. But back then, they were trying not to do that. And in reality, it really almost cost me my life. So they had to make the decision to have a partial hysterectomy. I still have ovaries, but they removed the uterus. And after that, it took a year for me to physically heal completely. And it wasn't until the following year of that surgery is when I started feeling the emotional depression and the sadness and the, oh my goodness, because you start having conversations. Mother's Day starts coming. I'm noticing in the type of work I was doing back then, I was doing kind of like undercover work. And I was seeing a lot of children and kids, and something was happening, right? I was like, oh, why am I crying? Why am I crying with the commercials? Why am I so sad? And that's when I realized I need to talk to someone because this is not normal. And I started writing a whole lot more, writing just about how I felt. But the big thing about it is, Cosmic, one of the things that I noticed that really kind of started to hurt me is when I started hearing a lot people having conversations on social media, you know, these blogs and these podcasts, when they start saying, oh, women with no kids, they don't know what it's like, what love is, because they don't know what love is.
Yeah.
They never had kids. Like, that's the real love. It comes from having children. If you never had a child, you don't know what love is. And that was kind of like, what are you talking about?
Yes.
I was going in there like, I know what love is. It's like, no. So then that starts messing with you. You start thinking all that. And I'm like, there's no way, because I know what love is. But who are we to stand up to all these different weird conversations that are going on in the world? You have to be fully loved by yourself. You have to embrace yourself. You have to know that you mean something. You have to know your value. You have to know that you, regardless, yes, they took away your uterus, but you are not a uterus. You are more than just an organ, right? Because there are folks with children who are committing the worst barbaric situations that are out here. So that does not mean that. And it's hard to tell that to people who don't really understand what it's like not to have children. It's like someone would say, you don't know what it's like to have children. And you turn around to them and you say, well, you don't know what it's like to have children. You don't know what it's like not to have, and you don't know what it's like to have. So
exactly.
It's one of those things where, what are you doing with all this information? Are you helping me? Are you trying to help someone?
And I was going to express, so for a long time, that's where I was at, because for those, most of you know, I have one child, but I wasn't supposed to be able to have him. And so I was 40 when I had my son, and I lived everything you just expressed. I would hear that all the time, because all my close friends, extended family, they all had kids, and I was there with no child yet. And I'm like, oh, well, you don't know, you're not a mom. I'd hear it all the time, and it would hurt me so. And I thought I wasn't going to have a child. Right. I didn't expect to become a mom. My son, just like you, Izzy, and you know this, I talk about how my little your little mango. He was meant to come into this world just like you were, and the same. Your mom had her tubes tied, but that's how I feel. He's very, very special, and there's a reason why he came into my life for various. I see it more and more as time, goes on. But yeah, I was there, and I know that pain, and I am such an advocate. If I hear anybody express that, I'm just like, no.
So. I mean, and I don't take it away from the moms. I mean, I think I share Mother's Day, and I tell my sister all the time. She always sends me a card, and I was trying to go back to that. Jessie, I understand what you're saying, COSMIK, because my sister Jessie she always sends me, and my mom too, when she was not with the disease, but now she doesn't. But my sister would always send me a card or sends me a thing, happy furry dog day, you are still a mother, you have your dog, and she tries to make me feel good, and I love her for that because I know where her heart is. She has a beautiful heart. She means well. She really means well. And I celebrate it. I go to baby showers. I'm not into. I love it. In fact, someone just neighbor gave birth, and I went and I did a whole basket. I just be like, oh, okay, and I'm thinking about whatever I would buy for my baby if I had a baby. And I'm like, forget about it. I got godchildren. You know what I mean? I'm that person. Like, oh, we want her to be the godmother because I love kids. It's not a surprise that kids laugh when babies, they laugh, they smile with me, they come up to me, hello. And every time I show up on scene, when there's a situation, it's the kids that be like, hi. And they're all happy. They're the ones that tell me he's upstairs. And I'm like, okay, stand there. And I'm going in to get the bad guy. And it's like, it's one of those things where in your heart that whatever life gave you, I'm okay with it. But not everybody's going to be there. And we have to respect that is what I'm saying. Like I see some folks 100%. Going into this direct, the operation, and they go through it. You could tell they're having, and there's like, I'm good. And in my soul, I'm like, I know you're good. Later on, you may not be though. You know what I mean? Because it always creeps. And we have to respect that space. Because there was a time I felt like I had to wear a cape all the time when I heard someone was having a hysterectomy and they never had children. There was a time I was doing that too. I was like, oh my God, writing poems. Are you okay? Because I'm thinking they're going to feel what I felt. And they were some people are annoyed by that. I'm good. Like, why you even? I'm like, okay. All right. And you back off. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because not everybody.
Yeah.
You understand, Celeste, right? Like we want to save the world. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? Everybody has their own timeline, their own way of doing
story, their own path. Yeah.
My phone is available. I always say that you could reach out to me if you want to ever talk about anything. You could leave a message. You need help. There's things out there. I went and got help. I did because I needed it. Yeah. And not only the dating scene. Let's talk about the dating scene. When you start dating men with children, and now you're like, they probably love you, but they may not think you know a damn thing because you don't have kids. Right. I don't want to hear it. They're gonna feel that. They're like, she don't know shit about kids. This girl don't even. She's probably into shallow. She's, and it's like selfish. So it's selfish is the biggest thing. And I'm one that I don't really want to explain everything I just did right now. So I'm not gonna give you all this story when I meet a man. I'm not gonna look. I can't have kids. I got sick. I had surgery. I'm good. I don't feel like having to go through all that all over again. For what? What if it doesn't work out? God forbid, right? Share all your stuff. That's why I kind of mentioned that earlier, Celeste, in the beginning. Be very careful also. And this is my encouragement. It's not advice. It's encouragement. Ladies, if you went through this, or maybe even something worse than I did or anyone else, anything, be careful who you share your story with. Not everybody is your friend. And not everybody's going to honor your experience the most confidential way. There's going to always be a person, God forbid, who's going to use it as ammunition when maybe things are not okay one day. Be very careful. Be very careful. I say that because I've been there. We've all been there. We'll be like, I heard this about, but it's real. There's something about this is why these are things that I notice. They come up. I'm not, like I said, I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm not a saint. There were times where I would just be like, if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back with words. And I was like, get away from me. And you learn as you grow up and you level up. So with that being said, Celeste, you do have another song. And then after that song, I'm going to go into Cosmic Insight, and then I'm going to come back with the other songs that you have going on.
Okay.
So I know you have this special one here. Hold on. And this one, I want to hear it full blown here because I didn't get to hear it completely. You have Too Many Losses.
Yes.
That is another one. Cosmic, we're going to have to get ready for this one.
I know.
And I like that you have the message. It's that message, though. Guys, you got to look forward. Look out soon for this brand right here that you see. It's that message, though. Celeste, Shy, that's their brand. They're popping. I'm telling you, they're popping. Listen to this one right here, y'all. I'm gonna mute up.
Even when the sun's shining, it's raining inside. I could've gave up, but I won't let this ship capsize. I'm constantly hit with the feeling of bereavement, to the point that my success doesn't even feel like an achievement. So I'ma fight to hold on, hold on, hold on. So I look in the mirror, say don't give up. I'm gonna keep fighting this battle until I have won. I know what pain is, it's what I'm living through. Supposed to be happy and keep my trust in you. So many losses, blessings are overdue. Time is supposed to heal all things. I'm trying to be patient, yeah, wondering why me. I've lost my sister, my mother and father, and I'm supposed to keep living like everything's cool. Every time the casket's closed, a piece of me was buried too. They say that time heals all things, but that's far from true. You're left with questions and a broken heart, missing pieces, and learning where to start living without the people I came from. I was taught so many things, expect learning how to live without you. The pain that was supposed to destroy me is what made me strong, just like holding on to a rope to carry on. Sometimes I wanna let go, but I find strength from within. Even when the sun's shining, it's raining inside. I could've gave up, but I won't let this ship capsize. I'm constantly hit with the feeling of bereavement, to the point that my success doesn't even feel like an achievement. So I'ma fight to hold on, hold on, hold on. So I look in the mirror, say don't give up. I'm gonna keep fighting this battle until I've won.
Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord.
Wow.
Tell me, Cosmic, what do you think about that right there?
Wow, that's intense. That's a whole nother type of loss. I mean, I can only imagine, but there, that's a kind of grief that feels like, I can't even imagine, like the ground beneath you has shifted. Like it's a different type of loss, and to not just lose one family member or one parent, but both, and a sibling, and That's intense. That was beautifully written, though. Beautifully written.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a lot. You know, day to day, some days are better than other days, but it's I don't know. Just the words to the song that I wrote. That's how it feels. Like if I had to describe it, that would be the description.
You described it all right,
but I think, but I also think the more that a person goes through and endure, I think it I don't know, it builds and it produces something in you. And it's something that you can't produce or not in you until you go through that experience. You know, and that could be anything, whether or not having children, grief, you know, losing family. I think it just builds something up in you. And I know it's not a biblical show, but the scripture I always think about, count it all joy when you face trials of all kind, because in it it's building up something in you. And that's just, you know, even though I can't understand it in my natural mind,
right,
it's something that I hold on to, believing that one day this pain, you know, will have purpose, or that pain is for some purpose. You know, that's kind of where I stand with it. But that's really how I feel on the, you know, on days, you know, day-to-day basis.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. And it's almost like it's the birth of resilience and strength coming to fruition. And we don't even know that that's what it is, because it's almost like you're feeling, am I becoming, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but I would ask myself, am I becoming immune to pain and to suffering? Like, why was I born? Like, what's going on? Well, I'll say, what is all this? You know, like, why is this happening? What am I doing? You know, and that shows up in my poetry, asking questions. You know, I'll ask questions about, why is this happening? Like, you know, what is the lesson to be learned here? You know,
exactly.
But it's sharing, because sometimes we can't even vocalize. We can't verbalize what we're going through. But when there's something about the pen, when you write down, and that's an art. I'm sorry. I mean, we all have it. Not everyone has it, but I know everyone on this panel right here has it, because I've heard it. I've heard it. Your husband has it. Because just because it's AI doesn't mean that you didn't write it. You wrote it.
Right.
And there was feeling and energy behind that. Okay. And without that, nothing goes into fruition. These were your thoughts, your feelings. And I definitely validate that. I love that. I think it's beautiful what you guys are doing. I love the title of your brand, and your record company soon to come. I need you to know that whenever you start producing your records and recording them, not they're produced, but when they're recording and they're available for everyone, we want to be the first out here to promote that. Well, you're going to get tired of us, Celeste. We are like, they be on stereo everywhere, right? TikTok. The DJ show. We know someone that's got a record out. Push it on, please, you know. They play it, they play it. If they don't, they don't. But we try to use all the platforms, all the resources that we possibly can. That's the idea. Right. Because especially if it's an upliftment, it's helping others.
Exactly.
Right. I love that.
Absolutely.
All right. Before we get to the other, because I know we're already on 128. I'm definitely gonna go. We're gonna go into the COSMIK segment. This is the COSMIK Insight, y'all. Definitely make sure if you are just coming in, hit the playback. We got a lot going on here. All right. We'll be back with COSMIK Insight.
In the starlit night, secrets unfold. Cosmic oracle with stories untold. Whispers of faith reach out to the sky. She'll read your cards, let your spirit fly. Planets align in a cosmic dance, unlocking your truth, offering a chance.
Greetings and salutations, beloveds. It's Cosmic Oracle for this week's Cosmic Insight. So, what Oracle card decided that it was going to maneuver its way to the forefront? You know, like, hey, it's my turn. I got something to say. I got volumes upon volumes to be brought forth in a condensed fashion for each and every one of you, because this is a collective reading, right? And it all depends, you know, it's all relative. For some, it's immediate, the messages that come forth and how you receive and how you vibe and connect. Some might be like, okay, whatever, that just is, I don't resonate with that. And then 2 days later, you're like, oh my goodness. Because it all depends when the light right here gets full-blown lit. The crown, that beautiful, glorious, I see it as a white lotus flower with a gazillion petals just opening up and ready to receive. And how you receive it and how it resonates within your temple. So, let's go check it out. What card has come forth? And what is the crystal or crystals of the week? Let's go. Oh, we got the Inner Access card. I am centered within myself. I move from balance to clarity. The key frequency of this card is really that centered awareness, internal alignment, balanced presence. And believe it or not, within each and every one of you, there is a place within your temple that is not moved by chaos, not pulled by pressure, not shaken by uncertainty, but rather it is quiet, it is steady, it is always available. This is your center, okay? And many of you have pulled away from your center. There's been a lot of imbalance going on, and you are being called back into it. And not through force, but through awareness. Because balance is not something you create by controlling everything around you, FYI. It is something you return to within yourself. And when you are centered, your decisions become clear, your energy becomes stable, and your presence becomes grounded. And you don't need to chase alignment because you are that. You need to remember where it lives. That's all. It lives within you. And so I ask that you pause, pause before you move or respond or decide. Return to yourself. Breathe. Feel your body. Notice where you are being pulled. Then gently bring your awareness back to your center. Because you are not meant to move from imbalance. You are meant to move from alignment. And this card has showed up today to remind you of this truth. Yes. And so the crystal ally this week is the one and only lepidolite, one of my all-time favorite crystals. It calms the nervous system and supports emotional equilibrium by helping you return to stillness in moments of overwhelm. It naturally has lithium coursing through it, believe it or not. And so it supports that calm awareness and emotional balance beautifully. Yes, indeed. So with that being said, I hope each and every one of you has a blissful week ahead. And may you walk in love, light, and peace profound. Cosmic is out.
In the starlit night, secrets unfold. Cosmic oracle with stories untold. Whispers of faith reach out to the sky. She'll read your cards, let your spirit fly. Planets align in a cosmic dance, unlocking your truth, offering a chance.
Nice. Cosmic?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. That song, the music too is beautiful.
I like that. That was nice. And it was very informative. The balance within. Let's stay centered.
You made me go look up your name because I wanted to see the meaning behind it. So it's very befitting. Okay.
Oracle. And she has her cards out. I mean, I love it. And a lot of her poetry, matter of fact, let's go into one of those. I'm going to play it right now real quick. Cosmic, I'm going to play which one? Cosmic Mother or, yeah, let's do Cosmic.
Oh, yeah.
This is Cosmic Mother. This is her spiritual, I call it spiritual poetry because she gets into a lot of stuff. So Celeste, you get to see her video right now. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
She rises from the quiet depths of time, where stars are born and then forgotten. Her eyes hold the glistening of distant waters and the weight of ancient storms. The streets whisper her name, a vibration older than Earth itself, echoing through portals and the murmur of forgotten stories. Her hands conjure power from divine essence. She holds the world's sins like a mother's burden, while a smile, fierce as thunder, cracks the sky in two, clarified wisdom coming through. In the alleyways of lost dreams, she moves like lightning, blurring the line between wrath and grace, knowing that to rule is to never kneel, and to rise is the key to elevation. Her nurturing hands trace the paths of galaxies without haste, without need for touch. Her presence is a stillness that demands no form. No worship is required. No temples built, for she is in the grain of earth, in the pull of the tide, in the space between breaths. A goddess, not to be named precisely, not to be known, but to be felt in every unspoken moment, that reminds us we are and always have been a part of her. Why, yes, the cosmic mother, a divine force like no other, gracefully making it known. Patriarchy is dying, enveloped in the wrath of sin. Are you prepared? For the queen has risen, and the king is dead. A necessary closing, seismic, unapologetic, final, true. The cosmic mother does not ask for permission. She returns, and all false thrones crumble. Long live the queen.
Oh my Lord. You all, that is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I love this. Now, this is true sisterhood. You all are some phenomenal women.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I love embracing
so nice.
those. Thank you, Celeste. We really try to, we don't try, it comes naturally when we really want everybody to win and we want everybody to shine, but we really want the message to be their message.
Right.
COSMIK has her way of reciting her message. And I love that about it. You know, I love this. I love what we do. And Cheesecake has her jazzy jazz. I don't know if you ever saw Miss
I
Cheesecake.
can't wait to hear her. Cheesecake. Okay.
We're about to play Miss Cheesecake right now too, because I normally do a whole section, a floetic section. It's called floetic videos, but today we're doing it the way we want to do it. And where's Miss Cheesecake? Where are you, young lady? You are around here somewhere.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah. If I could find her. Oh, here we go. Miss Cheesecake. Here she goes.
Well, let me tell you a little something about me. When it comes to my love, you really and seriously, truly have to be patient with me. Be patient and trust and believe. You will definitely receive. You'll see. I have a heart made of gold, known to give the purest one love. But myself, I never got to experience love in that form, just a stack of consistent storms, chaos in all forms. But my heart has always remained open to love. I know that God is the purest form, beautiful blessing from above. Be patient with me. I'm scared of you. I fear being put through turmoil and pain once again. My heart has never been protected, so I guard her with my life. Because I'm scared of losing her to pain and strife. Constant stress entering my life. Hypervigilance, living in fight or flight. Not really living, but afraid to exist. I know how to love, just not who to love. I know how to give, just not how to receive. And even with your honesty, I still won't believe until truth is all I see. You have to gain my trust because I have always been deceived. So in order to believe, you have to be patient with me. Explain things to me, to the T, so I can relax with things and let them truly be, without trying to perceive things from a threatened standpoint. Let my heart warm up to your love. Take care of me and cover me with the purest love. Understand that I have trauma, and when I don't feel safe, I run. Trust me, I don't do it for fun. That's literally all I know since my life begun. I'm very sensitive and fragile. Take care of me like the finest china, most expensive designer. And if I become too much for you, just be honest and define it. Trust me, I don't mind. It feels like a true gift to be acknowledged enough to receive this. Hurt me with truth, don't cushion, with beautiful lies. It's no surprise or disguise that I come with no instructions, but hella supplies, do's and don'ts. But it's for my safety and what I know to do. Be patient with me, and it all may go away with you. But understand the love I give is true. I just want the reciprocity of what my love gives to you. Be patient with me, and that flower will begin to bloom with you. Be patient with me. Be patient with me. I'm Miss Cheesecake. Be patient. Can you be patient with me? I promise you'll love every piece of me. A true definition of chemistry. Be patient with me.
I was jazzing in there with Be Patient with Me. I love it. It's so jazzy. Shout out to Miss Cheesecake. Shout out to you, Cosmic Oracle. Yay. I have one more for the road. This one's called Accountability. It was inspired by the Honorable Dr. Bay. Doc Bay and I, man, I tell you, he lifted my veil. He was like, I know you think you're a police officer, but you're really a policy enforcer. I was like, no way. No, but I had to take accountability. And this is what it looks like, y'all. For real.
Nationality is the order of the day. At least that's what I know. And I often hear my baby Doc Bay say, the mirror is in your face. Therefore, with reluctancy, at first and now willingly, I face the reality. And what does that even look like? It looks like me taking full accountability, no longer existing in fallacy. I mean, how am I supposed to proclaim my nationality if I didn't even notice how I was hidden in the shadows? You know, my strongman identity is the exiting the money game matrix. Me, my three, connecting to the my three. I know I want to live in my living natural me operating in private me, not the public strawman me, the one that surrendered all her rights for some crumbs called privilege. I signed the nature of me participating, pledging my life to function as a debtor when I was really the credit of dishonoring my ancestors for artificial constructs called corporations for a fraudulent nation. The dead cannot bury the dead. The fact that all of this has been in society for 100 years, keeping me distracted in many forms of entertainment, and I'm not paying attention. Shit, ignorance of the law is no excuse. I'm not exempt, there's no justification yet. I chose to believe the banksters that created the educational systems, calling me a bastard with a just over broke mentality. The J-O-B, it's all about commerce. But I have to change my mindset first, so I need to study, understanding what proclamation truly means to me. After my declaration, me, the living life, natural me who never functioned in this society, there's no place for me in this society. And I'm not asking you or anyone for permission. This is my proclamation. I'm communicating unambiguously, putting this on public record, standing through affidavit, talking to the system, standing on law, no longer in dishonor but in honor, placing a lien on my damn straw man. Any liabilities or suits that are addressing me, take the charge of this dead man's straw man and transfer that debt to my unlimited credit. Legal versus lawful. It's awful to see how I was played and manipulated with the legalese. Here's to taking accountability while I begin the process of proclaiming my nationality. I'm Dr. Poetry.
Oh, that's power. All I can say to that one is power up. What did he say? Power
up. Power up. Power up.
That is
Legro, Doc Bay. Yes. Doc Bay, love you. Seriously, I learned a lot. Doc Bay is definitely one of those that you are blessed to have to be in his presence, because he has a way with words, and he was able to speak to me and just talk to me about certain things that not so many people would challenge me on. Exactly. I have that energy that nobody kind of like want to, but he was like, he guided me, and I did the homework. I researched the research, like,
right.
You know, speaking about that, I have this book right here in front of me, The Torch. Like, when I say I have all these books in front of me, the 0%, and I always talk about the same books, because this one really allowed me to know and understand the misnomers that they're given to us. And that, you know, it's just, and I know Big Boy and them get into those conversations. If you only, I'm sitting there like this, and I go into the room, you know, I stay there, I'm listening. I don't really speak too much neither. I only speak when it, like, if I hear, you know, about police and like, what's your opinion as a cop? And I'm like, I'll come up. And most of the time I totally agree with them. You know what I mean? Most of the time I do, because I'm not going to and justify certain things that are not. But I really read a lot, and shout out to Word Magic by Pao Chang. All these, The Land of the Free, Home of the Slave, all these different books that I was reading, that I had to research their own
credibility.
Like credibility. Because, I'll go to the back.
You have to.
Yeah. I have to. And a lot of people think, oh, well, she just sounds like Doc Bay. She just Doc Bay. She's just sounding like Doc Bay. I'll tell you something. I don't. and there was so many arguments I would have like by myself because Doc Bay don't argue. I was like, no, that's not the way it is because Puerto Rico's, and then it's like, wait a minute, Puerto Rico's a rich port.
Yeah,
I'm Boricua. So it was kind of like there was a lot, and I'm like, he's, that's crazy because you don't want nobody telling you about your own history.
Right.
Don't be mad at the messenger because they sometimes, and this is when the centeredness comes in, to be centered within, so you're able to understand each side without being off balance, and that's what happens. It's not personal sometimes. It's sometimes our personalities. That's it. But yeah, we had a lot going on. So you like our little video stuff going on, Celeste?
I love it. I love it. I mean, the messages are phenomenal.
You're so good. I wish I had the ability or patience. I don't know. You're just so good at this. I'm like, can you create a video for me, please?
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask. Do you do, Dr. Poetry? Do you do the visuals for all of the videos?
Some of the ladies do it. Sometimes they do their own. Sometimes, but most of the time I'm doing it. And Def Poetry, shout out to Def Poetry, who's also a poet. And Kosi Apache would do some videos as well. But I'm pretty the one. I'm considered the executive producer when it comes to stuff like that. I enjoy it. I just wish I had more time, but I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. And if I see one of the girls in the spot, like we have a show, we're kind of like very structured. Hear Me Out Poetry is very structured, believe it or not. I know sometimes our members that came through and maybe like Izzy is a pain in the butt. Izzy short for Isabella. But because everything is like, notice how we did it, Celeste. Like I was like, I would love for you to be on the show. And I'm like, I start asking you questions. What do you call it? There's a reason why I'm doing all that, because you see in the back and it just flows. It helps me flow. Plus, this is not, people forget that I'm not a poet full time. I mean, I'm full time, but I have a job. I have a career. I'm a police officer. She's a nurse, and she has a child. So my baby, which goes back to what you were mentioning earlier. Oh my God, I remember. Thank you, God. Giving birth, poems and poetry are my children. They are my children. This is why anybody who truly knows me, Celeste, you could probably come from my accent. You could come from my, I don't know, you don't like my hair. You don't like the way I talk. But my poetry is sacred. Right. It's my life experience. Now, I'm not mad if you don't like it. It's okay. But the whole structure of it, trying to break down how poetry does. We have it, our own app, by the way. It's all down there. We're trying to take poetry out of the library. It just sits in books.
Yeah.
It's in books and it just stays there. I don't like that. Yes, we're reciting, but now we're in a safer virtual world. We don't have to do clubs in the lounge, in the bar, reciting, where after you recite a couple of moments and then all of a sudden there's a shootout, a fight, or something happens. This is safe.
Yes.
I kind of like this.
I love it. I love it.
And so we also have the videos. So you know how back in the days we used to have video music box, MTV, videos.
Right.
Well, I want to create that for poetry. I want everyone to you have a poem, okay, let's put some music back behind it. Sometimes it's a cappella. But most of the time we have music because the message somehow, and plus we throw echoes in it. I call it floetic echoes. This is like a genre I created with poetry. Floetic echoes. You're going to hear a lot of echoes sometimes. And we do that. And the girls have their own way. Everyone's a brand within themselves. COSMIK is a brand.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah. And Miss Cheesecake, she has her show. She has her own stuff. So I kind of want that. And the only way we can want others to be that way is we show them, look, you could hang out with females and we're not going to be grabbing our hair and fighting. Like, it doesn't have to go that way.
Sisterhood, true sisterhood.
It's a sisterhood. It really is. And the thing about it is that sometimes even whoever comes through Hear Me Out Poetry, I say this all the time, sometimes it's not where they want to do. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for the, that, not to say the discipline, but to be here. I'm a cop, so we're not going to be sitting here talking about weed. We're not going to be talking about drugs. That's not going to happen on Hear Me Out Poetry. In fact, I produced the DJ Chili Chill show, And I always tell chill. You may want to sometimes, and he's so cool about it too. He honors that. He has his own brand. Shout out to DJ Chili Chill. This is a big shout out to him. Let me do a quick promo. I always do this before we go. I gotta do this, y'all.
Birdhouse.
Birdhouse, here we go.
Tune in, powered by DJ Chill and the Birdhouse DJs. Featuring Birdhouse artists such as Candyman Raw, Rican Worldwide, and CELESTE. Follow the Birdhouse on Clubhouse and online. Or y'all follow at the Birdhouse website.
Chili Chill on the grill, come do what you do. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, who's next to the queue? We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'. Chili Chill on the grill, come do what you do. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, who's next to the queue? We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'. It's your boy Bo, chillin' with the Bird Gang, and your boy Chili Chill do the damn thing. You can rap, make beats, you can even sing, you can do it all right here on your way to fame. Don't let nobody tell you different. Never give up on your dreams, know that you're gifted. You are what the game's missing. Bring everybody in here, come take a listen. The Birdhouse is on a mission. Good vibes only, so chill with the sneak dissing. If you independent, throw it up. Chili Chill, keep it real, that's what's up. Northwest, east to south, we all doing big in the Birdhouse. Chili Chill on the grill, come do what you do. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, who's next to the queue? We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'. Chili Chill on the grill, come do what you do. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, who's next to the queue? We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'. We wildin' in the Birdhouse, yo, we always wildin'.
What a bird game! You know we always keeping you lit in the Birdhouse.
Chili Chill. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. Shout out to DJ Chili Chill and the Clubhouse family over the Birdhouse family. And I need to do this right here. I'm going to put this on right here so that we can see. Where is it at? Mama, can you hear me? Here we go. Really quick before I get out of here. Hold on. You see that, y'all? Clubbirdhouse.com. Make sure. Yes. Hey, my mango's here. Hi. That's my mango, y'all. Listen, clubbirdhouse.com. Make sure y'all follow. Download the app. That is DJ Chili Chill. We got to promote. Make sure y'all go in there. Listen to those dope DJs. DJ Chili Chill, Club DJ 808. We have definitely DJ Tell 'em, aka Brung, and we have Sliden. DJ Sliden was in there today. Make sure y'all go in there.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Listen, if you want your music to be played on clubbirdhouse.com, reach out to DJ Chili Chill. I know he's gonna work a deal with you because he could play some of your music for a little bit. He'll look out for you. I'm telling you.
Right. Promote your work.
Promote. So make sure y'all take care of that. All right. Sorry about that, Celeste. I just noticed I blocked you with that.
That's okay.
My apologies. Hey, Leo. Listen, we are short on time, but I want to say this because I didn't get to play Shy's music. If you don't mind, you can come back next week on our last episode of season 5. I would love to have you back with your husband, both of you, and we could definitely play more of it.
Okay.
Can you? Yeah, because we short on time.
Before I just commit to it, I'll check with him to see.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, look, he's sitting across from me across the room. He's like,
yay! Shout out to Big Boy. Shout out to Big Boy. For real. Make sure y'all catch Big Boy on stereo as well. If y'all don't know, y'all better know. All right. Definitely. We got to get out of here because they don't let me stay too longer. And I'm definitely cutting. I know. You already know, COSMIK. We love y'all.
Celeste,
we're coming back tonight.
Thank you, Celeste. Thank you for being here.
She's coming back. She's coming back. I don't know why we are saying back. She's coming back.
Okay, for today.
Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all follow each other, y'all. Mad love, peace. Gotta go.
Poesia. Poetry. Greek meaning poesia. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonants, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, I dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la